When Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy on June 6, 1944, they were not fighting alone. Behind enemy lines, a hidden army of French men and women, teachers, farmers, railway workers, students, was already at war. The French resistance, a network of underground fighters and intelligence agents, played a critical role in supporting the D-Day landings. Their courage, sabotage, and coordination helped undermine the German war machine from within, ensuring the success of the largest amphibious invasion in history. Origins of the resistance. The French resistance began forming almost immediately after France's fall in 1940. Initially scattered and uncoordinated, the movement gained strength as Nazi repression grew harsher and as the Free French leader Charles de Gaulle called for continued resistance from exile in London. By 1943 to 1944, the resistance had become a formidable force. Groups were unified under the French Forces of the Interior, FFI, and supported by Britain's Special Operations Executive, SOE, and America's Office of Strategic Services, OSS. With training, supplies, and radios dropped by parachute, local fighters were ready for their most important mission, to aid the coming invasion. D-Day preparations, a silent offensive. As Allied forces prepared for Operation Overlord, planners knew the success of D-Day hinged not only on soldiers landing on beaches but also on crippling German defenses inland. The resistance became vital to this strategy. In the weeks before D-Day, resistance fighters were instructed to destroy rail lines, bridges, and communication cables to disrupt German reinforcements, attack fuel depots and road convoys to slow enemy movements, relay intelligence on troop concentrations, fortifications, and German movements to Allied command, coordinate with paratroopers landing behind enemy lines to secure key positions and delay counterattacks. These missions were dangerous and often deadly. The Gestapo, German troops, and Vichy collaborators were constantly hunting resistance members. Torture and execution were common fates for those caught. The night before D-Day. On the night of June 5, 1944, coded messages broadcast by the BBC signaled resistance cells to spring into action. Phrases like "the long sobs of the violins of autumn" had been agreed upon as go codes for specific operations. As Allied paratroopers dropped into Normandy, resistance fighters cut telephone lines, sabotaged railroads, and attacked German patrols, sowing chaos across occupied France. In Brittany, Auvergne, and the Alps, resistance groups began full-scale uprisings, tying down German divisions that could have been sent to Normandy. Operation Green, Purple, and Red. The resistance worked in coordination with several key Allied plans. Operation Green targeted rail transport in northern and western France. Operation Purple focused on destroying telephone lines and communications. Operation Red involved armed uprisings by resistance fighters, particularly in the south and center of France, distracting German command. These actions significantly delayed German reinforcements, particularly armored divisions, from reaching the beaches quickly. In some cases, trains were derailed just hours before departure, and bridges critical to troop movements were destroyed. Intelligence and espionage. Resistance fighters provided the Allies with vital intelligence leading up to and during D-Day. Using hidden radios and coded messages, they reported German troop movements and fortification layouts, coastal defenses and minefields along Normandy beaches, road conditions and convoy schedules that helped planners avoid ambushes. Some resistance members acted as guides for Allied units, leading them through forests, villages, and backroads during the breakout from Normandy. Heavy cost, lasting impact. The resistance paid a terrible price. In the weeks surrounding D-Day, thousands of fighters were killed in action. Many were captured, tortured, and executed. Entire villages, such as Oradour-sur-Glane, were massacred by German forces in retaliation. Yet their sacrifices were not in vain. By tying down German divisions, cutting communication lines, and guiding Allied forces, the resistance shortened the battle for Normandy and helped open the road to Paris. The French resistance was the unseen backbone of the D-Day invasion. Fighting without uniforms, ranks, or formal command structures, they risked everything for their country's freedom. Their bravery helped make the Allied landings possible, and their legacy lives on as a powerful symbol of what ordinary people can do in the face of tyranny.